And welcome in, everyone. What a night of high school playoff football. Almost every single game was close. Wow, Brophy pulling off an incredible comeback as they end up beating Castile 31 to 17. They were down 17 to nothing and then put up all those points in the fourth quarter. It was insane. I couldn't believe it watching it, and I'm sure many fans couldn't believe that. What a comeback for them. They move on and they win as the number one seed, 31 to 17 over Castile. Incredible victory for them. And Desert Mountain unfortunately falls to Centennial, only putting up 3 points. They fall 24 to 3. Centennial will move on in the open. And ALA Gilbert North and Horizon had a great back and forth shootout type of game, but Horizon ends up on top, winning 35 to 28, and they will move on. Perry Pumas and Saguaro Sabercats played, and Sabercats ended up winning by 10 in that game. It was close at times, but they end up coming out with the win 42 to 32. And Williams Field falls to Sal Point. Sal Point keeps it rolling, and they end up winning also by 10, 35 to 25. Basha comes away with the touchdown win. They win by a touchdown. Basha beats ALA Queen Creek 38 to 31, and they will keep moving on in the open. And then we had the 4A game. The Brophy game was wild, but this one could have been even crazier. It went to four overtimes, and Canyon del Oro ends up winning in the fourth overtime, 33 to 27, with Caden Luke running it in for the win. We talked about him in the pregame, and he came in clutch for them. They end up moving on. What a scare for them. They were undefeated on the season, but they end up pulling it out in four overtimes, getting the win over AZ College Prep. And just an incredible night of high school playoff football. We'll get to hear from some coaches and players after the game with their interviews from our own correspondents, and we'll also hear from our analysts after a few breaks here and their recaps of the games and hear their perspectives. Just a wonderful night of football. And as I said in the pregame, it's high school playoff football and anything can happen. And we saw that tonight. There were a number of great games coming down to the wire. And yeah, just an overall incredible night. After the break here, we'll be hearing from some of our analysts as they recap a phenomenal night of high school playoff football.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
And I actually have some interviews here from Brophy Prep. Like I said, they pulled off an incredible comeback win, coming down from 17 to nothing to remain the number one seed and continue on in the playoffs. I have an interview with their player and coach of the game.
Avi Singh here, Varsity Sports Show alongside Dalen Sharper. Dalen, great game. You had a lot of receptions out there, most on the team, including a touchdown. What was it like out there?
It felt good. I know I could win my one-on-one matchup. I'm happy my quarterback trusted in me. Happy our team came out to win. It was a good team win.
Next week, would you rather play Red Mountain or Pinnacle? I know some of the other guys on the football team were saying they want Red Mountain to get some revenge after they knocked Brophy out the last 2 years.
It doesn't matter to me. All I know is that we got to come out the gate strong and not get down like this game and have another good win so we can get to ASU Stadium and play in the championship.
Well, it's been a breakout season for you this year. You had a lot of strong games this year, especially this one at Cathedral Catholic. What's the mentality been like all season?
Just work hard, practice, and weights and everything. Trust your teammates, never get down on one another, and play together.
Great. Thank you, Dalen. Avi Singh here, Varsity Sports Show alongside Coach Struhl. Coach, there was a wild comeback win here tonight against Castile that I feel like was really catapulted by your defense. How do you think the guys played out front on defense today?
Defense played awesome. It was, offense we couldn't finish in the first half, and defense is what, kept us in the ball game. So we're down 7-0 at halftime. Next thing you know, it's 17-0 and looks real bad. And then just sparked by that bad snap that equaled to safety. And next thing you know, that momentum was on our side and, man, paid off. I don't think I've ever been a part of anything like that.
What did you guys talk about in the locker room heading into halftime, down with momentum completely on Castile's side?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we weren't down by much. It was 7-0 at halftime, so we were still in the ball game. It was talking about coming out and making a stop, which we didn't do. They went down and kicked a field goal. Then we threw that pick six. But at that point, the message at halftime was don't quit and finish drives. We had 2 drives, one at the 1 foot line, and then we were in the red zone and came up with no points. And turned the ball over basically both times. So at that point in time, it was don't quit. And then when 17-0, we talk about who's going to be that guy that lights a spark. And man, it was our defense that started it. Next thing you know, momentum's on our side. And that's we had a 29-point fourth quarter. Unbelievable.
As of this recording, Red Mountain and Pinnacle are currently tied right now. I know some of the guys wanted to get back at Red Mountain for beating you guys over the last 2 years. Do you have a preference on which of the 2 teams you play next week?
No, well, I think Pinnacle won is what the last I heard in a tight game. So that's the last I heard. So it don't really matter. We're in the semifinals for the first time since 2014. I'm just excited to be there.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Avi.
Welcome back, everyone. Just to update you real fast, Red Mountain actually ended up winning by 3, and they will end up playing Brophy. So definitely want to tune in for that one next week. I'm here now with Zach Mott, who got to see an exciting game between Horizon and Gilbert North. Zach, could you just talk about a little bit about that game?
Yeah, Kyle, thanks so much. It's hard to describe, really put in words what happened on this football field. There was a 21-7 lead for the Huskies going into halftime. The Eagles had almost no momentum. They then put up 21 unanswered to take a 28-21 lead, and then Horizon would score the next 14 points off of an Alec Ekholm pick six. He was one of my players of the game, and then an Anthony Segura rushing touchdown, another of my players of the game. But really, it was an up and down game from both teams. The emotions from the crowd, both visiting and home, were very high and very low, and it was just such a memorable game, I feel like, for both sides.
It was an incredible game. Both teams showed up to play. I mean, what are you looking forward to seeing from Horizon as they come out away with this victory here?
Yeah, well, they had their backup quarterback in today, Zach Jones. Jace Ashley, we were informed just before the game, was injured yesterday in walkthrough, so he did not play in this one. So Zach Jones was kind of thrown into the fire here. He had played a little bit sparingly in games throughout the season, got a piece of 8 different games. But, yeah, this was really a shock, I feel like, not only to myself and Aaron, who were on the broadcast, but to everyone else in attendance. And Zach Jones did a really good job. So I think, we don't know what the injury looks like really for Jace Ashley, whether it's serious or not, whether it'll be multiple weeks he may be out, or we may see him back next week. But I think one thing for the Huskies to hang their hats on was the defensive performance in the second half. And when I spoke to Coach Litton, he talked about how that defense really responded to adversity after that 21-0 run that the ALA Gilbert North Eagles went on.
Yeah, they really had to show up tonight because that Eagles receiving core is something else. Well, thank you, Zach, for all your work. It was a great game, and we're looking forward to see what Horizon will do going through the postseason. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Kyle.
They care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And another playoff game that we had tonight in the open was Desert Mountain as they took on Centennial, and Desert Mountain ended up falling to Centennial here 24-3. Parker, what were your takeaways from that game and from Desert Mountain as they only ended up putting 3 points on the board?
They were toe to toe with Centennial most of the game, Kyle. It was 10-3 heading into halftime. But just the offense was not able to get going. Their passing systems, it was not hitting. Brady McDonough was just not really able to complete a lot of passes throughout the entire game. They ended up bringing in backup quarterback Bryce Herges after Centennial had scored their third touchdown of the game. But, I don't think there's anything to be, ashamed of for this Desert Mountain team. They're their only team in 5A in the open playoffs. They put up a fight against what was a top 25 nationally ranked team for 3 quarters. So it was the end of the third quarter when Noah Carter, the University of Washington commit for Centennial, took it to the house on a punt return. But, just if they were able to complete passes a little bit earlier in the game, it could have been a different story.
Yeah, it could have been. They had a great season, though, just to take a positive away. Desert Mountain, we covered them all year, and, just an incredible season. You talked to the coach. What did he have to say about the team and how they're going to, prepare for next year?
Well, they're losing a lot of seniors, a lot of key seniors. You have Dylan Hipp, he's going to Ole Miss. Dylan Tapley, he just committed to the University of Arizona. Santana Wilson is the other one I'll name. He's going to Texas. But the future is very bright. They got Tony Cumberland, who's a University of Oregon commit. Bryce Herges, the backup quarterback that they brought in tonight. He's going to be really key in what this team can do next season, that possibly another open state run. But yeah, he just really hit on some of the guys that will be coming back. And the future is very bright out in Scottsdale, Arizona.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing what they do next year. Thank you, Parker, for all your work tonight, and have a safe drive home.
Thanks, Al.
It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And welcome back. I'm here with Ryan, who was at the 4A game tonight, and that was between AZ College Prep and Canyon del Oro. Ryan, that was a crazy game, 4 overtimes. I mean, man, what could you just talk us through that game a little bit?
I mean, you want to sit here for 20 minutes? Because I can. What a game. Maybe it's always hard to make definitive statements like that start with the. That might have been the game of the year in Arizona high school football. A fantastic one. It was 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns for Canyon del Oro. Couldn't create much offense outside of that, Kyle. And it was, I think, what turned into a game that neither team really wanted to lose, rather than both teams wanted to win. Field goals in all the overtime spots, field goals on 4th down and 2 yards to go to the goal line. A great game from Caden Luke, who's the guy we highlighted in the varsity pregame as the guy who, needed to be stopped if you were Arizona College Prep, and they could not stop the running back for Canyon del Oro. He ran all over him in the first half, slowed down a little in the second, but as overtime came around, and the way overtime works is you set up on the 10 and you just go first down and goal. And when you've got a running back that's as good as Luke, it's just so hard to grind out a result against a kid like that. And Canyon del Oro probably deserved winners today.
An incredible win for them. What are you expecting to see from them as they move forward?
I think there's potential for this team, and people have talked about it all year. They were the favorite in 4A at the beginning of the season. They should win a state title. They have a tough task with Yuma Catholic and even a team like Arcadia or Thunderbird that can maybe best them as well. But they have the best player in 4A in Caden Luke, and when you have the best player and you get to the semifinals of the postseason, you're kind of sitting pretty, and you should really hang that favorite chip high on your hat and let everybody know about it.
Yeah, they're in pretty good hands with Caden Luke. Thank you, Ryan, for all your coverage tonight, and have a safe drive home.
Thank you, Kyle.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag Eco family today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
And welcome back. As we talked about 2 interviews ago, Desert Mountain, unfortunately, their season ends for them, but they had a great season overall, and the coach is very proud of their team, and we're going to hear from the coach in this interview right now.
Parker Gurash here for the Varsity Sports Show. Desert Mountain does not end up getting the win 24-3 final against Centennial tonight. I know a tough loss tonight. How proud are you of your guys, and what can you look back at this season and what you guys have accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, we're just proud of we played hard, right? We didn't play well enough to win the game because they're a better team than us right now. Game was close there, 10-3 late in the third quarter. We're playing pretty solid defense. Our guys are playing hard. They're exhausting themselves, you know what I mean? They have more depth. They're a big 6'8" team, whatever. And we came in with the energy to not back down from the bully. And I think, we're just proud of the efforts in this game, but we're proud of our program and the success that it's had over the last 4 years, right? We won our section the last 2 years. We've been to 2 semifinals. We're in the Open this year. We've been to 4 consecutive playoff appearances. We've won over 30-plus games. I mean, our seniors, 2024 kids, whatever, have really changed, the spectrum of our program and the outlook of where we're headed. And they've set the standard for us, whatever. So, reflecting, we're proud of that. Reflecting on tonight's game, we're proud of the efforts and the toughness that they showed. We just, we killed ourselves with penalties. The 2 scoring drives they had on us defensively were aided by, 30 yards of penalties. And then offensively, our special teams wise or whatever, we just didn't play well tonight. We had too many penalties, and we gave up a punt return for a touchdown. And offensively, we've been up and down all year, and this is one of the better defensive teams in the state, so we knew that was going to be a challenge. But we were in it. We had a shot to pull off the upset. We just didn't have enough. And kudos to them. They're a good ball club.
You went toe-to-toe with arguably the best team in the state all night long until the end of that third quarter. Your seniors stepped up a lot. Santana was making plays. Cassius was in on there on the defensive line. What are you most proud of the seniors that they have accomplished this year with how a lot of them, of course, too, are going to the Division I level?
I'm really proud of them just because, a lot of them this year, they exhausted themselves, Tapley, Hip, Wilson, Max Sheffrin, those guys all play both ways for us. They're out there on the field. They're doing stuff both offensively and defensively. They've played hurt all year long, and so they had to deal with a lot of adversity this year. And you know what? They've handled the expectations for our program mostly. So if we look at it, we were probably preseason ranked number 1 by most. Then we ended 5A ranked number 1. We played in a tough conference. And we're just proud for the grind and the effort that those kids were committed to playing football. And anytime you turn around a program, any coach will tell you this, if there's a commitment to everybody involved, our community, our parents, our boosters, our admin, and of course the players and the staff, you can accomplish anything. And I think being led by a group of talented kids, they were committed, and that's what we're the most proud of. And hopefully that the younger class of kids can kind of look at that and say, hey, this is what it takes to be excellent. They may not be as talented or long or physical statured or gifted, but I think the work ethic and the vision now of where we're going and where we want to be, I think it's set. So I think we're always going to be indebted to those guys. So gracious, so awesome to coach them.
Congrats on the good season, Coach. Hope to see you next year.
And there you have it. As we talked about with Parker, Desert Mountain had a great season overall, and they put up a great fight against one of the best teams in the state in Centennial and made the Open this year. So great things from Desert Mountain. And Horizon ended up pulling out that win 35-28 over ALA Gilbert North. That was a very exciting game to watch, back and forth from both teams the entire game. And I have here from the winning team, Horizon, their players and coach.
Zach Mott for the Varsity Sports Show here with one of my two players of the game, Anthony Segura. Anthony, you had that forced fumble and then that touchdown. Both plays were absolutely huge. How did you feel about your personal performance tonight?
It was really a great team win. I just want to say that first. I didn't do anything by myself, but it felt pretty good to get that forced fumble.
You're a part of that defensive unit that came alive here in the second half. You made a lot of key plays. How did you feel about the defense?
The defense really locked in at the end. We just stuck together and we just balled.
Anthony, congratulations on the win. Thank you. Zach Mott for the Varsity Sports Show here with my second player of the game, Alec Ekholm. You had that big pick six. Take me through that play.
So we were in a trap coverage, and I was the deep half on the opposite side of where I usually play. And they blitzed off the edge, and I was just sitting there in my coverage, and I saw the quarterback struggle to get the ball out, and just came to my arms, and I was running down the sideline. Felt like slow motion, but it was just a big play. But realistically, biggest play in my opinion was AP and Mr. Prine getting that fumble, gave us the ball back. So I want to give props to him.
How did you feel about the defensive unit as a whole down the stretch there in that fourth quarter?
I think we nutted up. We got real, and they tried to throw it up to one, worked a little bit, and then they tried to run it down our throats, and we sat down and we said, "This is our game. They're not allowed to beat us the way we want to beat them." So we took it to them and we stuffed them, and I think offense did great with what we gave them.
Alec, congratulations on the win. Thank you so much. Okay. Zach Mott for the Varsity Sports Show here with Horizon Huskies head coach Andy Litton. Coach, this was a game of ups and downs, but none more than that fourth quarter. Take me through some of the final drives. First, that third down play with Zach Jones. You trusted him to throw the football, and then Bodie on 3rd and 8 to take it away.
Yeah, so it's awesome that we were able to ice a game on offense, and that's a heck of a football team, a lot better on defense than I think that a lot of people give them credit for. They're really good. They're a good football team, and Jace is a gunslinger. He's not afraid of anything. You've seen us all year, so you know that Zach will throw the ball, and so I trusted him to do that. And then 3rd and 8, we wanted to make sure that we got the ball to one of our best players, and we did that. So.
Speaking of Zach Jones, can you reflect a little bit more in depth about his performance? How did you feel about it?
I'm really proud of him. Because we found Jace rolled his ankle, yesterday. So it was kind of like, hey, Zach, you're the guy. And Zach is he's probably one of the smartest guys in the school. And they don't have a math class here that he can take that is in his era. So he was unfazed, and he's a smart kid, and he's got a lot of playing time. And so, I'm just excited for him and excited for our guys.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Thank you.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Avi, and Avi was at that exciting Brophy Prep and Castile game. And Avi, could you just talk us through that game? What an incredible comeback for Brophy. It looked really scary there for a while, but they ended up pulling out the win. Could you just talk us through that?
Yeah, well, it was an excellent game. Brophy didn't really look like themselves for the first 3.5 quarters or so, but then the punter for Castile got a fumble on the punt, and he had to kick it out of bounds for a safety, and that sort of launched Brophy back into the game. So they were able to go down the field and score to make it an 8-point game. And then they went for a gamble with a squib kick down 8, and they got it to go. And they were able to score a touchdown on that drive and convert for 2 to tie the game. And then quickly from there, it was completely Brophy all fourth quarter. They outscored Castile 29-0. They ended up winning 31-17, so they'll take on Pickle next week in the semifinal.
Yeah, they really turned it around. Was there anything that coach said at halftime or in the third quarter that helped motivate the team to turn the whole game around, really?
Yeah, he told them, he said, it was 7-0 at halftime, and I talked to him on the postgame interview. He said, we got to go out there and we can't allow any points. And they ended up allowing a field goal at the opening drive, but after that, the defense played very solid throughout the whole game, especially in that third and fourth quarter, and it was the defense that was able to secure the win tonight.
And then to go to the other side of the ball, what did you see from Castile? I mean, they came out, they took a 17-0 lead. What did they really do well in those first three quarters?
Well, I thought that Castile's run game worked out very well, and they had some good passes too with their quarterback Newcomb, who actually used to be a wide receiver. They converted him to quarterback after their starter, Paul Palmer, was out with an injury. He played well. I thought Braden Green played well. He was their standout player. Castile's offense played well, but they kind of stalled in the fourth quarter, and a big fumble by Newcomb ultimately led to.
And Brophy comes out with the win. What are you looking forward to see from Brophy in their next game in the playoffs?
Well, my player of the game this week was Dalen Sharper. He had an absolutely outstanding game. In fact, on the broadcast, we dubbed it the Dalen Sharper game because of his effect on this team. But I think the Brophy receiving core as a whole is very good, and they're going to have to come out swinging next week against the Pinnacle secondary.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for them. Thank you, Avi, for all your work tonight, and have a great rest of your night.
You too, Cal. Thank you.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no-obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag EcoFamily today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you. The podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. In 2019...
And welcome in, everyone. I'm here with Bobby Murphy, who is at the South Point Catholic and Williams Field game tonight. South Point Catholic ended up coming up with a 10-point win, 35-25. Bobby, what did you see from South Point Catholic tonight, and what did they do well?
At South Point, I mean, their offense looks really good. Pretty balanced offense. Their run game was on, and then their pass game was on as well. They were able to just get stops whenever they needed to on defense as well. It was a garbage time touchdown literally at the buzzer to make it a 10-point game at the end, but it was a little bit closer than some people might have thought. But South Point's offense looked good. Fourth quarter was high scoring all around, 5 total touchdowns, and every single time that they just needed to score, they were able to score and not let Williamsfield come back into the game. But yeah, it was a really good showing for them overall. Could have been stronger on some parts of the game, but especially their run defense a little bit in the second half. But overall, good game from South Point.
And then on the other side of the ball, Williams Field, they ended up putting up 25 points. What did they do well tonight against that tough South Point defense?
I mean, in the first quarter, the first half, they had a chance to stay in it. They were down 14-7, and then it kind of just got away. But in the second half, the run game was really getting going. Of course, their star running back in Dylan Lee, who second half went off. He had a 70-yard touchdown run at one point in the fourth quarter to make it just a 2-score game, or to bring it back to a 2-score game. But Dylan Lee, the second half, he was really getting going after South Point really stopped him a lot in the first half.
And what are you looking forward to seeing from South Point, and what did you hear from the coach after they got this victory tonight and they're moving forward in the postseason?
Yeah, after the game, we were not able to talk to the coach. We didn't have it sideline camera, unfortunately, today. But next week, I believe they play Saguaro. I think Saguaro beat Perry tonight, so it should be a really good matchup. The 2 versus, I think Saguaro's the 3 seed, so they're definitely just going to want to clean up their defense a little bit. They allow 14 points a game, and obviously they allowed 25 points today. But so against Saguaro next week, who has a really solid offense, South Point will want to clean up a lot of the things in their pass game and their run defense. Really, their pass defense was kind of getting tested a little bit today with Williams Fields' deep ball game. So they were getting tested a little bit, getting some practice for that at least. But they were going to want to clean the defensive side a little bit against Saguaro next week.
Yeah, and Saguaro did end up beating Perry 42-32, so we will be seeing them face Saguaro. That will be a tough matchup for both teams. Very good teams there. You talked about it a little bit, but what are you expecting, for the final score of that game?
For the final score of that game, I think it'll be around a total of 50-55. South Point can score the ball. Their defense looked a little suspect at times tonight on really both aspects, run and pass defense. But prediction, I'm going to go with 35-28 South Point maybe. Saguaro does have a good offense.
All right, we'll have to see if you're correct with that one next week. And thank you, Bobby, for all your work tonight, and have a great night.
Thanks, Kyle.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game recaps every single Friday night, wrapped up all into one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame. I'm your host, Kyle Cooper, and I will see you Friday night.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I love playing sports. I love playing sports. I love playing sports. Maybe I'll just cover sports instead on the Varsity Sports Show. See you then.
Hi, my name is Parker Gurash. I am currently a college student at Scottsdale Community College. I'm very excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Foundation as a broadcaster and a production assistant. Cannot wait to get started and be able to show my opinion on sports this upcoming season.
I'm Stephen Buxton with the Varsity Sports Show, and I'll keep you updated with all Arizona sports around the Valley. Follow me on Twitter at StephenBuxton_.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Ryan Sikora. I'm going to be one of the interns this fall at the Varsity Sports Show. So happy to be with you guys this year. I've loved sports for as long as I can remember, and I cannot wait to be with you guys on Thursday, Friday, and even some Saturdays all this year.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's up, everyone? My name's Lucas Metzner. I'll be broadcasting this fall for the Varsity Sports Show. Super excited to get on the call, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lucas_J_Metzner. What's up, everyone? My name's Lucas Metzner. I'll be broadcasting this fall for the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, Arizona sports fans. I'm Lofton Lechner, and I couldn't be happier to be joining the Varsity Sports team as a technical director for fall 2023. Follow me on Twitter at Lofton Lechner to stay locked in.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with our very own Vince Delicio. Vince, how are you doing tonight?
I'll tell you what a night for football. My gosh, we had seven games that we handled. We were down in Tucson. We had 2 games down there. You obviously heard from Ryan Sikora, who was at Canyon Del Oro. 4 overtimes. Are you kidding me? Sal Point and Williamsfield. Sal Point came away with the win there, setting up a rematch with Saguaro. I called the Saguaro game with our very own Tanner Tortorella tonight. Saguaro defeating Perry. What a game. Big shootout tonight. Jaden Matthews was our player of the game, running back. Had a monster game. Jacob Brown, monster game. Mason Bray, quarterback. Defensively, Elias Johnson, Christian Nunley. It just, so many guys stepped forward and played big tonight out at Saguaro. And then, of course, Horizon. Win for Horizon. They advanced. Desert Mountain, their season ends tonight in the Open at Centennial. That was a monumental task tonight in facing Centennial in the Open, but they were Desert Mountain was the only 5A team in the Open. Gosh, who am I missing? We had, Brophy, big win for Brophy tonight as well. It was an incredible night of football. Basha, we had a crew working the Basha game tonight, defeating ALA Queen Creek. So congratulations to all the teams tonight. And tomorrow morning, you're going to hear from the coaches on the Varsity Sports Show. Big show tomorrow morning. We'll be out at Ability 360 over off of 52nd Street in Washington. Come on out. We'll be out there from 8 to 10 a.m. Jason Goldie will be co-hosting with me. We've got an all-star lineup of guests. Obviously, all of the coaches from tonight's games we'll hear from. They'll break down the games. Other guests, the amazing content from our amazing broadcast and production team that'll be featured tomorrow, and a couple surprises along the way. So definitely join us. Kyle, again, amazing night tonight. I'm looking forward to watching the replay of this thing and seeing all the post-game interviews. Oh, by the way, guys, go to our Twitter at Varsity Show. Everything is archived. Post-game interviews will be up as well. All of them will be up by tomorrow morning, as well as our players of the game. Those will all be posted as well. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Kyle, back to you.
Thank you, Vince. It was just an incredible night, like you said. 4 overtimes. Brophy comes back in the fourth quarter, down 17. It's, that's just playoff football. So thank you, Vince, for tuning in. And after the break, I will wrap it up. Stay tuned.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game?
And extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And that is going to do it for the Varsity Live pregame and postgame show. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. As I've said many times on the show tonight, this is just high school playoff football. Just super exciting games, 4 overtimes in the 4A game. Just incredible football. And yeah, so I'll go over the scores one more time. We had Brophy Prep beating Castile Colts 31-17, coming back to win that game. Then we had Centennial beating Desert Mountain, a close game until the fourth quarter. They won 24-3. They will move on in the open. And ALA Gilbert North Eagles were at the Horizon Huskies, a shootout, and Horizon ends up coming up on top. They win 35-28. Then we had the Perry Pumas at Saguaro Sabercats. The Sabercats end up winning by 10. Great showing from them. They win by 42-32, and they will face South Point in their next game. And speaking of South Point, they played Williams Field tonight, and they won also by 10, 35-25 over the Blackhawks. What a great game that will be between those two very strong teams. And then we had ALA Queen Creek play Basha Bears. Basha ends up winning 38-31. Another very strong team in the open. We will see how far they can go this season, and they move on. After that, the last game that we had on the Varsity Sports Show tonight, we had AZ College Prep Knights at Canyon del Oro. And Canyon del Oro ends up winning in 4 overtimes. They win 33-27 thanks to their player, as we talked about in the pregame. It was Caden Luke who had the game-winning touchdown run. Like I said, before this, he had 22 total touchdowns for them and averaged 152.9 yards per game on the ground. And as Ryan mentioned as we interviewed him, if you have the best player in 4A, you're going to go far in the postseason. So we will see how far Canyon goes this postseason with Caden Luke. And that is going to do it for us at the Varsity Live Show. Thanks for tuning in, and we will have more high school football playoff games next week. You don't want to miss it. And once again, I'm your host, Kyle Cooper, and this has been the Varsity Live pregame and postgame show. Have a great night.